All right, everyone, welcome to our
Fourth Action!
where we discuss things about the game, life, puppies.
The only time that we get to be our own monkeys and get a fourth action.
That's right.
Okay, we'll start with that.
Yes.
Shurikas. They can scream and holler at the beginning of any encounter. They can only do it once per encounter. And it gives them a fourth action.
And in a previous fourth action, maybe like 36 to 38 or 36 to 40, you left the fourth action saying something like, I'll see if I can figure out a way to give you guys a fourth action in the game.
Get some fourth actions in the game.
Yeah.
They that.
You were throwing a deep cut that we wouldn't realize until later.
We didn't get the fourth action.
No. Those things were crazy fun. I will say that whole north side of the complex with the kobold lair and then the, what do they call those things? Shurakas?
Shurikas?
Yeah.
The baboon.
Yeah, the baboon monkey guys, right? Yeah. Baboon ape guys.
Technically, they're apes.
Yes, because Hal has a limerick.
Yes. It's not a limerick. It's
Or
a song.
a rhyme, a song.
Yes, which we sang.
Yeah.
You want to sing it again?
Yes.
If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. Even if it has a monkey kind of shape. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. It's an ape.
There you go. Yay. Next.
And technically, baboons are great apes.
Only
Those
great.
those weren't that great. And that one was a jerk.
Only gibbons are considered lesser apes.
There you go.
Which means that the entire category of lesser ape was created just to crap on gibbons. Think about that.
When you're feeling bad about yourself, just think, at least you're not a gibbon.
At least you're not a gibbon.
At least you're not a gibbon. So it's not a gibbon that you're a gibbon.
That's right.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Next week, we'll learn about crocodiles and alligators, right, Plame? I'm just teasing.
No,
Plame's Wild World of Animals.
we can learn about, what are they called? The Samus?
Samu.
Samu. I think that's what they're called. Samus. I have to look at that song up.
Okay.
I have
Anyway,
no idea.
I've got a tune when we get to water buffaloes, but I think it's copyrighted, so...
I'm pretty sure the monkey song was too.
Yeah, probably.
By the same people.
But again, it's just great.
Oh, Cebu. Yes, that's it.
Cebu.
Oh, Cebu.
From VeggieTales.
Yes.
Yes, VeggieTales, which is great. They're awesome.
VeggieTales were awesome.
They're awesome because they got not like adult hubba hubba humor, but they have a humor for older people.
Humor adults can appreciate.
A humor adults can appreciate.
You can watch the entire Lord of the Rings in VeggieTale form.
That's right. You can.
Yes,
You didn't know
you
about
can.
that?
Yes, you can.
Lord of the Beans.
Lord of the Beans.
Lord of the
Oh my
Beans.
gosh, didn't know that existed.
We are not subsidized, but you know.
Hey, if you're looking for sponsors,
We're not sponsored, but you know.
hook us up. So,
Just remember, we're not subsidized, so we have no money for you guys to see.
So yeah, exactly.
this side of
the north
side of the tower of the castle of the second floor of the keep, whatever we want to call it, was absolutely fantastic. Even though we have something tragic that has happened, everything over those rooms were just
Let's talk
fantastic.
at the end. But
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end.
But you guys more or less rocked these things.
We kind of ran through that.
There
was
were
great.
There's a couple downers when you fought the one elite boggard. He put a hurting on Plame.
Oh man, did he ever?
Yep.
Yep. Of course, Plame, I think, ended up dicing him up pretty good at the end.
oh yeah, he fell and he ended up. Yep.
And then there was another instance of just a particularly vicious boggard.
Yes.
He's a jerk.
Yeah.
That was the sad one.
Boggarts are I don't remember boggarts, bullywugs for old school folks, right?
Yes.
I don't remember them being necessarily this brutal / vicious, but have they always been?
Well, no. In Pathfinder, they absolutely are.
Okay.
In the Kingmaker video game, you come across a camp of them, and fairly low level. I'm like, oh, boggards, big deal. They rock you. They have this war cry that we've experienced that like frightens.
Blood curdling ribbit.
It's not so bad.
Of death.
Yeah, it gives you frightened, which, as we know, is one of the most powerful debuffs in the game. But also, if you critically fail in Pathfinder 2e, then it sends you running, like you're fleeing, and that's rough.
Man.
You're moving away from your party,
Yes.
possibly into further danger, and you're not taking actions to help the party. It is very debilitating, and along with that, they hit hard. They have two-handed clubs. They have high strength. They're pretty tough. Like these things had 38 hit points when we fought them this time. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Though
per enemy.
I will point out somebody snicker snack through them pretty big.
Oh
Yeah.
man, talk about the beauty once again of Fang, right?
Yeah.
Fear Fang.
The roundtable before in like episodes, 46 to 50 or so, all of your dice belonged in dice jail.
Yeah, it was not good.
Like we bragged about
It
them.
I was rolling bad. We were coming across things that you couldn't really hit with a sword, too.
Yeah.
Like the doll.
Yeah.
And the
And-
gelatinous cube.
Yeah, the gelatinous
that
cube.
doll had
What you could hit
amazingly
with
high
the what you couldn't crit.
Yeah,
So
which you
it's
couldn't
just
crit.
good.
But then
But
they
even-
came alive this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, just going through a thing.
And
Just to point out, in the last battle with the three boggarts, Inara didn't kill any of them.
No.
Fawin killed one, Wargy killed one, and I think Plame
yeah.
killed one.
yeah.
She beat the heck. Because of her, most of them were down to like 2 or 3 hit points.
Yes. That's exactly how it happened, right?
But that doesn't matter, right?
Are we playing the first edition way and where the one that actually gets the kill gets all the XP?
That's right. You can have all the XP for the kill.
Woo! Oh, wait, we're milestoning.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Already leveling up.
Oh, by the way, you
anyway.
guys got bonus XP for helping Big Brumble.
Yay!
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
That also was a moment whenever, and it made perfect sense in what was going on in the storyline, but when Plame goes to the door, whenever he basically is alone in the room, I think all of us at the table were like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap.
What? I mean, it's not like anybody ever dies in this game, right?
If you do not know what we're referencing, you obviously need to go back and listen to.
Spoiler alert.
Was it our anniversary episode that happened in? Was it 52?
No,
No,
it
it was
was 53.
53.
Yeah,
It was
53.
53. Oh yeah. I tell you what, man, about that many episodes in, it's dangerous.
Yep.
It's dangerous. It's going to get more dangerous as we go
Which
on.
is weird because I'm pretty sure this was the first room we were supposed to go in if we didn't run this dungeon backwards.
Right.
Yes, that's
Although
true.
I feel like it kind of worked out.
Could you
The way
imagine?
Well-
we did that.
Sort of.
If we had gone in and angered more than one of those rooms at level 2,
Oh yeah.
we would be in trouble.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that funny how it's like 2 days ago when we were level 2, we died.
Well, if we remember, there was a time in which Fawin, I think it was, maybe it was the time, yes, on the south side when we were encountering the undead, that they basically waylaid Plame and I.
Right out of the bat. It was your first
That was the
round.
first
right?
encounter.
And then Fawin retreated into a hallway and they started to follow us and come around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fawin almost ran down one of these two hallways to hide. And as Jeremy said, if we had like unleashed that side at the same time we were dealing with that first wave
my goodness.
of undead, it would have been bad news bears. The birds about got us after
Yeah.
we had
Those
finished
birds
that
are
encounter.
nasty.
Yeah.
So,
Or, I mean, I guess theoretically, if we would have gone the other way, we would have been second level. We would have fought these 3 boggarts in the first room and then gone through that door and then immediately hit the big bad.
yeah.
What's his name? The gigantic boggart.
Wirt.
No,
Yes.
wait, was he the
Yeah, the
big
2 monkeys
bad?
that
Yeah, Wirt was here where he was kind of the big bad on this
not
side.
Or like was he,
was
the
there.
same level as?
Oh, no. There was kind of a quote unquote big bad in all 3 areas. In the north was Wirt, but he was like a level 3 monster.
That's the
And
thing.
then you had the doll who was like I think about level 4. And then you had
man.
the whites who were level 5.
yeah.
Man.
So it was supposed to go that way.
reverse order.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so it was supposed to go that way.
We did. It was such a, and I know I'm reaching way back, but man, that was just like such a moment after fighting the lictors on the undead side and basically 4 of the 5 party members, if we include Stagrum, are hanging on by like 1 or 2 hit points, right? The fight's over.
Yeah, the entire party is like at 1 or 2 hit points.
And we're leaning up against, the sepulchres, trying to just survive. But now, like we say, we get over here and we pretty much...
You kind of rocked them.
Yeah.
Except for a couple nat 20s from a couple boggards, you guys rocked them.
Yeah. And we employed some diplomacy and some deception a little bit too.
Yeah.
So, with trying to make them feel like that the group, Fawin, tried to make them feel like that she was, an unknown faction had joined in or whatever. So, but
And we met Scorp.
yes, Scorp.
Who would have figured out that he was a liar?
Evidently not Inara or Fawin. But what was that?
I think he was in a cult.
I thought he just wanted to get out. Poor guy.
He didn't want to die for some reason.
Who said we were going to kill him? Nobody said that.
Well, someone threatened to pop his head off. But
It wasn't worth a shot.
Pib and Zarf, the kobolds that we
love 'em.
encountered.
Oh yeah, they hung they just full on
That's
justice hung the,
Full-on kobold justice.
what was it?
That Bogart?
Yeah, the Bogart.
Well, to be fair, Stagrum says it was the kobolds that hung the boggers.
That's true.
True.
For all we know, Stagrum.
Yes. For all we know, we may go back and Pib and Zarf might be bleeding out.
They're all just swinging from the rafters.
Yeah, Stagging just like just psycho, but serial killing everything that behind our backs. They're safe.
Yeah.
It's fine. Your debt is now paid.
Cleaning his blade. Everything's good.
You are forgiven. You can tell because of the silence. And Bumble, Big Bumble's now gone. And free and flying around, yep.
For now.
Which could be good or bad, hopefully good, right? So
And almost hilariously, we found a list of all the magic items.
yeah.
that was fantastic.
There's a couple we need to go find. One at least.
One.
A couple
Floating stone.
Yeah, you guys didn't go through all those books. Oh no, you gave the other books to Stagrum.
I gave one to Stagrum and one to...
Yeah, we'd ask him
Apollo.
what was in that book tomorrow after we get done resting. Speaking of resting, we are resting up after finding out that we have achieved level 4, which is nice.
It will bring fantastic things in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I already have I've got my levels planned out for quite a long time. But there was one thing I was stuck on. There are 2 feats I was choosing between.
Yes.
The left and the right?
Yeah. Ward Medic is one of them, which is, I'll tell you the one I didn't choose. The one I was going to do was Continuous Recovery, which changes my healing that I can heal someone every 10 minutes instead of every hour. Which would have been good, but I find that we're usually needing more than one person getting healed at a time. It's eating up a lot of time.
Now that you mention it, with level 4, also Plame can pick up a second focus point.
Oh, that's nice. You can.
Oh, really?
Yep, you can heal twice then.
So I can
So
heal
you go
twice.
Twice in 10 minutes?
Yep. Well, real quick to clarify, no, it's twice in 20 minutes because it's 10 minutes per focus
10
point.
minutes.
It's 10 minutes per focus point. Yeah, there's a feat I think that you can take that allows you to get more than one focus point per focus.
Yeah.
But I don't know what that feat is now. I have to look at that. Anyway, but what I chose instead was Ward Medic, which lets me heal 2 people at once when I do treat wounds. When I use treat disease or treat wounds, I can treat it to 2 targets, and then when I get to master in medicine, I can do 4. So now when I sit down to heal people, I can heal 2 people at once in 10 minutes, or heal them double in an hour.
Wow.
And I did think we clarified that cooldown does start when you start the treatment.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
yeah, but it's if you continue for a whole hour. So instead of 10 minutes and you wait
50 minutes.
50 minutes to heal someone, you can spend the whole hour and it doubles the amount of healing that you do. But now I can heal 2 people at once in a 10 minute span. I can double up my duty.
That's
But can
pretty
you
awesome.
heal a broken heart?
It depends. If it's caused by an arrow, I think so.
I'll see what I can do about that.
But if it's caused by someone's familiar getting smashed,
Oh, man.
Too soon.
Maybe
Too
not.
Yeah,
soon.
I guess we need to let the
Where
cat
do
out of the
broken
bag.
cats go?
Honestly, with the way people around this table have been joking about it, I don't think you guys care that much.
What?
What do you mean? It was
Has
a
anyone said anything inappropriate?
catastrophe.
Fawin was nearly catatonic.
We need to introduce Fawin's sister, Catless.
Oh,
Catless.
You seen Archer?
And I think she was in the Hunger Games with Warble.
We do have a problem, right? In that without
Our personalities. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have a problem, but we still like, Fawin anyway.
No, I think that Emily is correct. If anybody out there is like, I can't believe, a beloved pet has died and they're making fun of it. Well, it's how we're deflecting with humor, right? So
Yeah, that's it.
that, and we know out of game player knowledge that it's very easy to get a familiar back.
True.
It's a temporary setback.
But
True.
it's good to role play.
Absolutely.
It's great to
The
Our characters don't know that.
That's right.
Oh,
Exactly.
you guys have no idea
Yeah.
how this works.
You're right, Emily.
Even Fawin doesn't know it, and here's the bonus for listening to the fourth action, right? Brook's been teasing what will the new character be, because Fawin can't be a witch without a familiar, right?
Yeah.
Level
And
4 NPC.
I know, so I've been teasing
Investigate.
archer, investigator, right?
Academic.
Just be an academic.
Yeah.
Just be the Giles to your guys' team or whatever.
I think Hal was said something that rhymes with witch.
Yeah, something.
Yes.
I didn't know there were levels of that, but
She's very good at keeping secrets. She wouldn't snitch on anyone. So.
yeah, I don't think snitch.
She can dig some ditches.
Let me just say, I was personally pretty sad, even though that we know he is going to come back.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I mean this with all due respect to Mesmer, right? It's amazing that this was quote unquote just the familiar, right? I mean, Mesmer and Wargy, they both have personalities and they are part of the team, but it's amazing
That's my wife.
it's amazing the emotions you feel in a role playing game. Yeah, and heaven forbid, Gorham forbid that we ever lose one of the main characters, which it's probably going to happen.
It's going to be Plame. Let's say it. We can say it.
Because that'll be really devastating.
What do you mean? Plame never does anything
I
dangerous.
mean, that already almost happened.
And it has almost happened a couple
With
of
Inara.
times. Inara, Plame with the Boggarts, Fawin in the gelatinous cube, Boddy with the dire wolf, with the warg.
with the horde of skeletons.
Yes.
The entire party with the whites.
Right? Like, we have been near death.
Once or maybe twice.
Yeah, it's several times. And so it's going to happen at some point. And when it does,
It's going to suck.
yeah, it's going to be tough. Like, we will feel the emotional
When
weight
it
of it.
does, one of us is going to die.
I think so.
I think so.
It's like
Don't jinx it.
I know. Maybe if I speak
Fingers
out loud.
crossed it's Stagrum.
But it's just Pathfinder, as Jeremy has said several times, Pathfinder is just a brutal game. It's,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
So, for instance, this boggart that laid low Mesmer.
Oh, man.
How much? It was like 20,
Mr. Rourke.
25 damage it did in one hit.
Yeah. 24.
24. What's your hit point total?
Mesmer has 15 hit points.
How much does Fallen have?
So Fawin has 28.
20.
So that's
29.
29. So
That could have almost killed Fallen.
Yeah.
Well, I'll also point out that when that in the 5 episodes ago, when the Boggart Chief hit Plame with
Yes.
the critical. That was for 36 points of damage.
Jeepers
Correct.
creepers,
That was
Batman.
max damage.
That's a dead Fawin. That's a nearly dead Plane. And you combine 2 or 3 of those things at one time, like if
You get multiple hits at once. Oof, it can go south fast.
Yeah.
if one of us walks into a room without the others in there, and 2 of those boggarts attack them, and both of them get good hits, that person's down.
Yeah.
And then we start the fight with that person
That's
down.
why I walk in first.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Plame learned his lesson, but you'll notice in that next room, it was Inara that got in front.
That's right. Well, but if you think back to our first big fight was with the Growlodons.
Yes.
Inara came charging in, got 1 hit off, and then got chomped by the Growlodon down. If it wasn't for Staggrum being there, who also absorbed another hit, that could have been Boddy down, and then it would have been Fawin and Plane left to finish off this nasty monster.
Yeah.
So it could have gone south. There's been a few occasions when we're trapped with the 2 skeleton lictors that are just whacking us to death. I mean, we've had a lot of close calls.
Yeah.
I think...
The dice have been generous to you.
Or when the Warwick burst out of the freaking door and chomped on Boddy, 1 hit down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I forgot you got one hitted by the war.
yeah. So we've had
We've had
a few
some
close calls.
Critical hits are fantastic when Inara does them. They're
Yes.
really scary when the monsters do
They
them.
kind of suck the other way around.
Yes. Those crits are nasty. And technically, because we played the rules wrong, because Emily would have
did?
played it differently. But you remember when you were technically
Yeah,
dead?
should've
Yeah.
Because we played the hero points wrong?
But it's
Oh, it
Yeah.
all would have worked out.
yeah.
Yeah, if we had done the rules, you would have sacrificed all of them and succeeded. So myself, Inara, Plame you haven't been like in dying,
He was
have you?
under the water here, and
He's never been below 0.
Okay, he's never
yeah.
been
He's never been at 0.
You were stuck in the gelatinous cube, but you got out.
Got out.
We've all had some close calls, and Staggram's been in wounds before, hasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
No, Staggers was dead. Like, that one particular
Twice.
time when Boddy was doing some healing on him.
Yeah, it almost killed him.
I rolled a 1.
And killed him.
Yep.
It didn't kill him, just put him in dying.
That moment when the blood's just squirting in the background.
You were spraying up the wall.
Oh, I can
God.
fix it. Hold on.
That didn't put you in dying, though. It just put you really, really low.
No, it put
No,
it
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 put
did
him
put
in
you in dying. Oh, never
You put
mind.
him in dying. He was in dying too because he was already down once, I think. So it was
Yeah, I
it was
remember.
hilarious.
And Nora's like, "How's it going?" He's like,
So, yeah, how's it going back there? It was perfect. That was wonderful.
"The bleeding's slowing down."
Need any paint? Come out to red.
His cries are getting quieter.
He must have forgiven him.
He's at peace.
Oh,
Yeah.
that just happened to make me think as we're reminiscing
Yes.
back.
I didn't know you did that.
Sometimes, but not like deeply or anything. But this last, a few episodes back was our 52nd episode. So we have been putting these things out for a year.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. We thank you so much.
Yeah,
When will we technically start?
June.
So
We had talked about it. We got things moving.
We
and rolling.
planned and we did some pre, but the actual first recording was May
No, it's June. I thought.
or June, and then we released because we made a backlog, and I think we released during one of the cons, right?
yes. So episode 1 dropped on June 17th of 2024, and Hal was looking to see when we recorded it or when we.
May 3rd, I think.
Okay.
Wow.
May 3rd, we have a folder that doesn't have anything in it, but yes, that's probably when we started.
There we go. So.
It's hard to believe.
So 52 episodes as you guys listen to this, and as we record it, it really is very close to the same time of date
It's
as it
April,
may. So.
late April
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. So, and this year in 2025, the growth has just been phenomenal. Like we're starting to see kind of, can't call it exponential yet, but
It's linear.
We're seeing these we're seeing these
Little
these
bumps every month.
These bumps happen because you guys are sharing Wayfinder Legends with your
Yes.
friends and posting it on Reddit and social media.
Comment. Also,
And-
when you comment, that bumps us up in the algorithms that are out there.
You betcha.
The mysterious, magical algorithms.
And
Yes.
we like to have conversations with you guys. So yeah, do it. And if you're listening here in Oklahoma or somewhere close, we are at all the big nerd conventions here.
Yes.
Red Dirt D&D and Red Dirt RPG in general. We're usually at SoonerCon. We're usually at TokenCon. We just had a great time at TokenCon.
Yeah.
We're going to be at SoonerCon coming up here, which is
Yep.
just it's like really close, isn't it?
SoonerCon will be June 22nd.
June 22nd, yeah.
Yep. And then Miracle Con.
MiracleCon.
MiracleCon in August.
And then, do we do GalaxyCon? I can't remember.
We haven't yet.
GalaxyCon is at the end of May.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So GalaxyCon has gone past as they're listening to this now.
Yeah. They
But-
lost it. Yeah.
Lexicon.
Lexicon in
that's
October.
In Stillwater, October. Yeah.
So yeah,
That is a great time, I'm telling you.
And if you know about a convention that you think we should be at, let us know. Hit us up on the Patreon.
If we're missing one, let us know. We want them in there.
Put it in the comments. Just tell us. We're watching those things. We care about you guys.
It has been, like I said, we enjoy doing this, but it is so fun to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
So
Makes it more fun. So we kind of derailed. I talked about my level 4. I'm getting Ward Medic, so I can heal 2 people at once, and Force Fang, which is another spell that I get to use that gives me it's basically magic missile in a punch, which is very fitting for
Like some monk type stuff.
kind of. It's so it's like my spell strike kind of deal. But it's a single action where I get to hit somebody and it just does 1d4 plus 1 damage. It's an automatic hit. It's not a lot, but it also lets me recharge my spell strike.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
And
it gives
did
me
you
another focus
say
point.
war medic? Ward.
Ward
with a
Ward
D.
W-A-R-D.
Ward.
Yeah, like a trauma ward or something.
Okay.
So Ward Medic will let
Or
me.
warg medic.
No, Warg Medic.
Yeah, that's something else.
That's a
That's
good
something
one.
else that happened. Wargy finally got her first kill.
I
Yes.
know.
Which
I was so proud of her.
So speaking of Wargy and being more active in our party, is Inara planning to take Wargy on as an actual animal companion at level 4 with
Maybe.
Beastmaster? Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh.
We're discussing the possibilities.
We'll see. I don't know. Inara's been thinking about the bar dedication.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
I was like,
We hook, line, and sinker that. We were all leaning in. Like, what?
I mean, is your charisma? Yeah, never mind.
No.
Yeah, I would say that's cool.
She's got the charisma for it.
What is?
See that though? Like the barbarian chant.
Yeah, absolutely. You're screaming at the top of her lungs. Ah! It's kind of a war cry kind of thing. What about Plame? What are you going to do with your level 4?
Flame.
So I'm pretty sure when he took the chosen one or blessed one archetype, there's a couple of kind of caveats that come along with that. One of the things is you have to take, obviously we took the initial, and then you have to take 2 more feats out of that archetype before you can move on to do something else. So he will take at level 4 the Blessed Sacrifice, even though he probably won't use it much, but it does give him an extra focus point, and that's one of the reasons to use it.
What does the spell do?
It allows Plame to absorb, I think, 6 points of damage that would have hit another. No, 3 points. He can take 3 points of damage that would have hit an ally, and it's a reaction.
Okay.
So let's say somebody is just about to die and gets hit. Plame can then redirect that damage to himself.
That's cool.
Right. So not super useful, but it's a reaction, so that's good.
Does
That
it
is cool.
Does it heighten?
It heightens and then it allows you to redirect by 3.
Is it
it
plus-
increases by 3?
Is it +1 on heighten?
It is, yes, +1 height.
Oh, so that means you'll be getting it at basically the +2 automatic. So it'll be 6 points to start for you.
Right.
That's pretty cool. 6 points is a big deal.
Yep. It could be.
Yeah.
Can I just interrupt and say
Sure.
there's something called ooze lore?
Well, Fawin probably knows all about that.
She knows it inside and out.
Fallen dove into that subject.
Yes.
Yeah, she was
Just
deep in that
completely
study.
engulfed in it.
She really, really absorbed those lessons well.
Oh,
She just
nearly.
yeah.
There's just so many weird dedications you can pick from. Because I'm reading, ooze morph dedication.
Who's morph?
Yes.
There's so many weird dedications
Yeah.
you can pick from. Like tattooed historian dedication. It's
you
like
go.
so random.
There you go, Fawin.
Tattooed historian. Like, isn't that just like cheating and like writing the answers up your hand? I think I did that in ninth grade in
Wait
French
a minute.
class.
Yeah.
Somebody have a mirror? I think it's on my back. That's funny.
I do like how you just happen to be mentioning ooze or looking at that. Like when I think we do here at the table really, really well. I love whenever I can figure out how a feat, quote unquote, naturally happened to the character, right? When
Yeah,
a
was it
skill
part of
or
the
a
story?
feat comes on, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna take ooze morph or whatever, then it seems like that's a possibility now because Fawin has had experience with ooze, right?
Or tattooed historian.
Or tattooed
That
historian.
way you, like the DM, can pull lore out of your butt.
It's a weird place to inscribe it, but okay.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty much where it's been coming from.
Nice.
this is a circle way back around. But
Oh,
when you
okay,
said, pulling things out of your butt, Pib and Zarf, right?
No, they're from the module.
They're
I
from
did
the
not make-
module. Yes. How much of their personality was in the module?
A little.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
because
are-
the whole
they're
like
kind
you're
of-
embarrassing me, As for the meats, like
Breathe fire on them. I can't right now with everyone watching.
were they intended in the module to be a little bit of comic relief? Are they supposed
They're
to?
supposed to be a little. They actually don't give you quite as good directions on how to make them comic relief.
Yeah.
They just kind of imply that they should be.
Yeah. Oh, it was. I could tell it was a Stacy Jones special. Like it was.
Yeah,
it
there's
was awesome.
some Stacy flair in there. I love those little dudes. I think they're freaking hilarious.
Oh,
They're so
great.
cute.
Yeah.
In episode, maybe in outtakes, but in episode, we talked a little bit about what they look like and the artwork and stuff.
Yeah.
And can I do a hot take that may have everyone draw swords on me?
Go for it.
I don't like the look of the Pathfinder 2e kobolds.
They're weird.
So-
they don't look like the traditional kobolds. They don't look dragon-like at all.
No,
they're more
very,
salamander.
They're very salamandery, right?
I love it. It reminds me of like Lilo and Stitch
They're
kind of
so
situation
cute.
going
They
on.
do kind of
Yeah.
look like a lizard Lilo, or Lilo is the human.
Yeah.
So they do look
Lizard
like
Stitch.
kind of like a
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like that, right?
Like axolotls almost.
Yes, in a way.
I love it.
So, and I just like I get it. Like I understand, but
It's not for everybody.
but they're just, I don't know if they're just too thick for me or
I
what
like
it is.
I
but,
like how thick they are.
Yeah.
Those thick necks. They don't have necks. It's like land sharks almost.
Yeah.
And they feel more lizard-like to me than the kobolds and like in traditional D&D do or previous Pathfinder.
yeah.
And I kind of like that, like lizard like kind of feel to them.
Yeah, 1E kobolds were weird. Now I will
They
say
had a kind of almost dog.
Yeah, they're
lizard
kind of
That's
like
the-
dog lizards. Yeah.
that's the thing that I liked about the 1E kobold. It was actually kind of a throwback
Yep.
to D&D first edition.
Oh yeah, yeah,
much so.
AD&D.
where
Yeah.
they very much were like dogs with scales.
Yep.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And so
Scooby-Doo's running around.
they very much were like dogs with scales back in first edition D&D.
Yeah. But
and then
I personally prefer the 2E ones, but
Yeah.
I like the 1E ones too. They're fine.
And then about third edition D&D, they changed to the lizard thing. And then, of course, Pathfinder 1 is built off of that, right? So, but they make them unique. I will give them credit that the 2E kobold, like you can tell that is a different kind of monster. Like it's not a D&D kobold. It's something different.
You're never going to confuse a kobold with a goblin.
This is true.
They are very different in 2E. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a different take on it.
And it's just my hot take that but
It's okay.
It's forever,
Yeah.
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah,
So,
I like them both. I see where you're coming from. It is a departure, and that can be not as fun, not as comfortable.
yeah.
I dig it.
I will say that when I look at them and I hear Pibbinzarf's voice, right? Like,
Yes.
you get some meats. I want some meats. Right?
Absolutely.
You absolutely can hear it and see it. So, yeah.
They're cool. I want them to hang out with us.
I very nearly gave them like a bad Austrian accent.
We gotta get the bump.
Yeah.
You
We are dragons. Can't you tell?
Mighty dragon.
Just look at us. Look how strong we are. Yeah.
Who has no neck? We're right here for you. I can enjoy it. It's really strong.
Yeah.
He'll bring the fire on you.
Yeah, dragon, you wimpy human. Yeah.
They would not be as cute.
No.
No, we're not.
No, they would not. I love them.
Is there the goblin voices, Helba and
It's Hellbound
Right.
out in the world.
and then Pib and Zarf kind of have a similar
They
voice.
do, yeah, there's a little overlap.
But I have a deep cut for you where you can like nod and sound like you're a genius. Is it because kobold is German for goblin? So they have.
Yes, it actually is German for goblin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I thought you were going to say, it's because the kobolds and the goblins lived side by side for so long, they affected each other's rope and mannerisms.
Yeah, they started picking up the accent. you know.
Nope, that's right out.
Either that, maybe the kobolds learned common from the goblins, and they have the goblin accent.
That's bad.
That could be it. Yeah, but no.
Nerds.
I like that though. That's really
It goes
cool.
up there with my alternate, speaking deep cuts, my alternate name for the one where we fight the creepy doll in the war room.
Yes.
No fighting in the war room.
Which is a deep cut reference to.
Ooh. Dr. Strangelove.
Dr.
Or
Strangelove.
How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Ball. If you want the alternate title for that movie, it actually does contain the phrase, there's no fighting in the war room.
I can't believe you'd reference a line from a movie in this game.
Never happened.
Never happened
before.
You damn dirty ape.
The number of as Scorp as he leaves and runs away, the number of Planet of the Ape references that we made. I don't know how many of them made the cut, but
Vision of him riding off on Stagram's horse.
Stagram's horse.
He's got a net.
Swinging through the trees, off to go build his own community. Like, oh no.
He may have to deal with a splinter cult after a while.
Yeah.
Depends. But who's he going to impress? Will he swing off and find some other lesser race, or some some kind of boggards again, or somebody?
That just happened to jog to memory. We haven't talked about.
What?
Fawin was talking to Scorp in Scorp's language.
Oh.
Yeah. What's with that, Brook?
Yeah, so there's this. I'm dying to know. First of all, it was a choker that just looked elegant and Chalatsian, but did not register under Boddy's detect magic.
Yeah. Like it was snoozing, taking a little napsy.
Yeah, and then you very subtly, as it becomes, you very subtly said something about things being inactive, right? That maybe it goes dormant for a while, and then she puts it on. And we start having this conversation with Scorp, with the Shokara Ka, who speaking basically like a primate type of language, and Stacy just very smoothly drops in there that the party realizes that Fawin's talking the same language, and she doesn't know it. Mm-hmm. It really threw Brook as a player for a minute. He was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me I've leveled up in something? Are you trying to, and then we realize it's this item, and Plame realizes with his occult check, it may not be the best thing for Fawin to have.
It was weird because so he rolled a natural 20, Plame rolled a natural 20 on his occult check, but then when he looked at it from a distance, it looked like it might be more goblin manufacture for some weird reason, I don't know why, rather than rather than chillaxian. But then once Fawin put it back on, and Plame walked over to look at it, he was like, "Oh, it just looks like a piece of junk jewelry. It's not nearly as nice as we thought." But Fawin, looking at it, still says, "Oh, this just looks beautiful."
I wonder, with it being on, if the enticement, for lack of a better word, was active. So if it was calling to Plame as well, right, and looked goblinoid, as if it was like calling to Plame as well.
It's almost like it wants to appeal to whoever's looking at it.
Yeah, it's like a chameleon necklace.
Which is interesting. Does it actually stop now that Fawin put it back on and basically accepted it? Or as we're walking through town, are we going to start seeing people go,
Ooh, I like that.
"Ooh, I like
That's
that.
a like that. Yeah.
I knew that. I need to maybe off that snooty noteboard."
Yeah, and I don't know how cursed items work in 2E, but traditionally, like in Dungeons and Dragons, cursed items can't be taken off, or if they do, there's like some kind of penalty or damage it does to you. Yeah. So,
And she was able to take it off, which was a mechanical mistake, not on purpose, by Brook, because then it deactivated and you only get to use it once a day.
Yeah.
So,
But then when she put it back on, but hey, she took it off, but it took like a little bit of an effort. And then she put it back on. But of course, was that just because she likes the idea of the magic, or is that because it was calling to her?
yeah.
And I think when we were talking about it, you mentioned that Plame knew that there were some items that were like that. They wanted to bind
To a user.
to a user. Yeah. Almost like they
Usually not a
almost
good
like they
thing.
become attuned or something. Yes.
I guess we'll see if she keeps it on.
okay, I was just making sure we got
Something
that. Something
additionally I'd like to add on is
What
there
else?
is a
We have
Okay.
been like so scattered this
No,
morning.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
it's been
God.
it's been the ADHD fourth action.
There
Yes.
is a skill feat called Train Animal where you can teach an animal companion a specific action, basic action
All right.
that it already knows or might be new. So if it already knows it, you can command the animal to do it without a nature check. And then if it's something they don't know, they get a new action.
So you could then go, "Wargie, chew up the furniture."
Yeah. Okay. Frighten the NPCs.
And it's just new.
Eat the
I think that's for regular animals, not companions.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think you don't need that for an animal companion.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
Oh, you don't?
No, animal companions learn a bunch of things
This
for
is
free.
just for like,
You get like
whatever.
4 of those for free with animal companion.
oh,
I feel like if you had a horse, you could train a horse to do tricks,
Correct.
even though it's not your
Oh,
companion, right?
Yeah, you don't even need
I
that.
had no idea.
Yeah, if you take on Beastmaster, you're gonna get like that
stuff
plus a bunch more. Yeah, it's a little different.
Okay.
I have a druid.
I thought it was something cool, but I guess I already get it.
It is cool, and you also
that?
get it with Beastmaster. It's the
Right.
doggos will get them.
That reminds me of a very old dragon. As long as you're being scattered, very old Dragon magazine article from way back in like the 80s called "So Your Dog Ate Your Dice."
Yes.
It was like random things you can do to produce random numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking at a clock, opening a book to a random page.
Goodness. Dogs jumping everywhere. You have so much energy.
Yeah.
Wargies jumping everywhere. Oh my goodness, you're so wet.
These are all Jeremy's animal
You're so
companions over
weird.
here.
Yeah, I'm still fostering one puppy and raising another one, so they're super excited about people. Apologize.
Okay.
Maybe you should post their photos up on the Patreon and then in our animal companion
Oh
section.
my gosh,
Yeah.
yeah. I've got my
Yes,
other
you need
two.
to
These
do
two
that.
aren't there yet.
That would be cool.
Fawin, what were your plans for level up?
Well,
She's working on that.
yes, there's and the kind of the good news, bad news is that there's a skill feat and then a witch feat that can happen, and
The witch feat might be complicated.
the witch feat might be complicated now. But originally, the plan was that the next witch feat was going to be cackle,
Oh yeah.
because cackle is basically a free sustain. Like one of the things you can do with some spells, and it says in the description about the spell, is that in some spells you can use an action to sustain it, right? and the cackle witch feat allows you to sustain magic with a little burst of laughter as a free action. It's a hex.
Oh, nice.
It's a hex that costs a focus point, right? But
okay.
Or maybe it doesn't. It is a
It basically just continuously sustains something without
Yeah.
spending actions.
yeah.
I'm gonna
It's
take
a
hold of something. And
it is. Oh yeah, it's just a hex, which is basically like a specialized witch cantrip. And of course, most of them say sustained up to a minute. So sustained for 10 rounds is kind of what a lot of spells do. So again, this could create an incredibly powerful action economy.
Yeah.
Where she doesn't have to use an action to sustain a spell. She could, laugh and then
kind of creepy.
and then
but-
make that spell last longer. Like for example, balance luck or needle of vengeance or nudge fate, right? Any of
It's
those
like
that have
the
a
witch cackle.
Yeah.
And it keeps it.
which I love
She's
that.
just giggling to herself over in the corner.
Which I love that as a flavor text, because when we think about a witch, so many times we think about that witch, doing something, some magical effect, and then going, and it's, why do they laugh like that? Of just the sheer adrenaline of like the magic. Now they gave it a mechanical reason. She's extending the spell.
Right.
She's extending
know.
the spell duration.
I love that flavor, that perfect flavored mechanic, right?
Me too.
My question is Fawin actually gonna like witch cackle, or is it gonna be more like sophisticated?
Yeah, I think it probably is going to be more sophisticated.
Yeah.
Now
Like
maybe
like a snotty debutante
Yeah.
giggle.
Yes, like
Snicker, like a snigger.
yes, like a
Nah, it's
snicker.
Fawin. It's going to be.
Yeah. No, I think for Fawin it probably has to be kind of like a mean girl snicker.
Yeah.
Like a
That's good.
So I'm playing around with it.
I think that would be a perfect next thing for the Ask Our Patrons to provide a sound effect.
100%. You're reading my mind. That's amazing.
A sound effect for your witch.
Yes,
gonna get some
witch laughter.
Yes, if you have a suggestion or if you want to submit a cackle for Fawin, please do. You can drop it in the Patreon. You can drop it into the Wayfinder Legends chat there. You can send it to us in an email or a message via patreon.com. It'd be fantastic. It'd be great.
Patron or Patreon?
Patreon.com, right?
Yeah, it can be a cackle. It can be a laugh. It can be a giggle. It can be a guffaw. It can be a snort laugh.
Yeah. And
Titter? Can it be a titter?
It can be a titter,
that
but
man,
not Twitter.
just a wonderful little trill.
Like
and,
Mesmer.
And you may be thinking, well, I can't do it very well, but maybe you could ask if it's not you, ask some friend of yours to do it, and then send it with their permission, of course.
Just walk up to your friend,
Be like,
laugh like a witch for me.
Yeah, laugh like a high class, high society,
Yeah.
snooty witch. Like what would that mean girl laugh sound like? And then we'll use it.
So you're saying, what would it sound like if Paris Hilton laughed?
Something like that, right? One thing that has been amazing is that Mesmer's death, it has changed Fawin. Now maybe it's not a grief, maybe it's not a change that will stay. We'll have to see. But right after that, she opens up to Boddy about not being special. She not only, I don't want to say allows, because I think Inara is going to do whatever she wants, but but she accepts that comfort from Inara, and they almost have like a sister moment where where Fawin leans into the hug. There's always been a special relationship between Fawin and Plame ever since the circus tent moment, but that deepens as well. Plame's belief in the future,
In prophecy.
right, comes out so strong. And
It is the prophecy.
Yeah, and I didn't foresee really any of those role playing things happening as the event happened, but now it really brought. I think it reconnected the party together in a lot of
even
different
had
ways.
a tender moment with Stagram, or as close as Stagram gets to a tender moment.
Right? Yeah, with the ring and I wasn't special until I found you weirdos, right? Stagram said.
Well, that really, revealed an insecurity that Fawin has.
She does.
And it really, it was like that maybe even she didn't realize it was so deep and so strong. Like, you basically lost all purpose when you felt like your spark of magic was snuffed out.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal.
Yeah, she, at that moment, she was feeling like, I'm just a commoner now. My adventuring life is over, And she still feels that way at the end of this last episode, right? Maybe, like I said, she can come along and be like the mundane helper, the intelligent guide on the side, so to speak. But as far as like going down into the depths of things, like, man, she doesn't feel herself being that at all.
But it's and it's crazy that as soon as it happened, and as soon as like Fawin started reflecting on her like lack of value, is what the way she sees it. Like, I'm not special anymore. I'm like, I'm not going to go with you guys. It's basically I'm not worthy kind of situation. How many times in life do we face these moments as time goes on? Like, something life changing happens, or some kind of event, or some realization, and you have to reassess and find some way to reestablish that value. And sometimes it takes some friends to point out, hey, listen, this sucks, but there's a lot more to life than this one thing about you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes an outside opinion, or someone else's value of you to help you get past that shock of having that kind of change.
That's very true.
Yep. Once again,
get so sentimental about it, but okay.
Well, it's gaming reflects life, and so
it does.
it's wonderful.
So I think this obviously was not planned, but the event then allowed us, just through happenstance, to tie in the last of Fawin's story with her parents in Mesmer. Oh yeah. And that kind of led into the aftermath of Mesmer's death, and so that I thought was a real juxtaposition of, here she is leaving everything for Mesmer, and then now that's gone.
Yeah. And that's another great point, like that she has indeed left her family to chase or own or have or to grow in whatever power Mesmer is offering, and now it's gone, right? And so in a way, it's not only she lost the magic, that's 100% right, Hal. Fawin cannot go back home. At least not like this. Like, she doesn't want to go back home. She might be able to, but she does not want to go back home defeated and not impressive, right? If she goes back home, she feels like she needs to go back, quote unquote, victorious. Look at me now, right? I did it even when you said I couldn't do it. So.
Yep.
It's crazy.
There was also a moment in which Fawin has a plan. After visiting the druid, Fawin has a plan now for how she's going to have closure with Mesmer. And what was so great was that there was a pause in the mic, and Stacy was like, "What if you did this?" And I was like, or maybe Hal said it. What if you did this? And I was like, "That's exactly what I'm going to do." Sometimes the universe just
it works.
Whispers to everybody.
Makes story sense, if nothing else.
Yeah. So
This is the one that involves the cooking pot, right? No?
We cut that out.
Now we're back in Emily's pamphlet about appropriate humor. We're like going back into the pamphlet again. You can't make those kind of jokes.
I'm just trying to keep everyone not upset with you.
We know we have some real animal lovers on the show, and we love our animals as well.
Much.
Okay, real quick before we run out of time. So
Yes.
we went back to town. We got our massive reward from Captain Lecter.
10
Gold.
gold pieces.
10 gold, and then
2
whatever
gold
we
pieces apiece.
can loot from Vaz's shop. That was basically what. And
Which
so
we get there, and they've already gone through it all.
That's right. But we did find another half of a spell book,
We did.
Yes.
and then some notes that we haven't really gone through quite yet. So
And we picked up some cool items. What did you sell? You sold just a regular
a
necklace.
piece of jewelry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, which was like worth twice as much as the reward we got.
Don't worry, he gave it away.
I don't remember what happened to that. It's gone now.
Yeah, what the heck happened? We also
Go
found
through money.
we found an onyx dog,
Yeah.
Wonders
Ooh.
figurine.
And that Onyx dog is awesome. So, to me, I mean, if you remember in the Drizzt novels, he has
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Panther Guinevere. Yep, that's a similar device.
Yes,
So, yes.
a little more potent.
Yes.
This is a
than
The
very much
Panther than
lower
the
level.
dog, but you know.
Yeah. This one just it stands guard and makes noise if someone
It turns
tries to
into
sneak
a
up on
guard
you.
dog once a week
Yes, for 6 hours.
for 6 hours.
But it's pretty cool. Boddy was thinking we could probably sell it because it's worth like 35 gold, which who knows how much get from a merchant from it. But it might come in useful if we want to like guard a door or an area or something like that, or just
Yeah.
watch our backs.
Or just play
Play fetch.
play fetch,
Yeah.
snuggle. If you're cold and you want the dog to come in and get under the blankets, keep you warm.
One of my puppies serves as an onyx dog. Zoe, one of the new puppies, the puppy that I'm going to keep. If you leave the room and come back, she forgets who you are, and she barks at you. She's a permanent onyx dog. She's a
Just respawns every time you come back in the
Yep.
room. Yep.
it's a wondrous item.
Alrighty.
But so one thing we haven't talked about is when we level up, we get more hit points.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Our proficiency goes up by 1, so all of our abilities, all of our trained, are they abilities? What are they called? Skills? Our trade skills.
Yep,
They
skill
go up
feats.
by 1 as well.
Yeah.
And all of our saves go up by 1. So we're all just a little tougher. We're all just a little more resilient. And we are a little more skilled at the things that we're skilled at, which is nice. So level 4 is kind of a boring level as far as like abilities go. Most classes don't get something on level 4 besides their class feat and their skill feat. But you also get all those boring things that you don't get. And sometimes more, spell slots. Oh, I forgot. We get more spell slots too. Yeah.
You'll have more spells.
Yeah, one more spell slot for me at level 2. Yeah. But yeah, that's about that.
Well, I think, are we running out of time here?
It's about time that we get ready to roll.
Roll for it.
See you guys next time.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
Thanks